How's it going, everybody? This is Grant giving another update with all things Amazon for the area manager position. So I have a couple notes on my phone that I'm going to go over today, mainly based off of some of the comments that I got. I replied to all of them that have been coming in so far, so you can see my responses there. I also got a couple DMs on Instagram, which is really cool. Appreciate people reaching out and whatnot. I made a short list of things that I want to go over just to answer some extra questions and then give an update with where I'm at. So I'll flip those around and give an update first. So earlier today I got an email about the process path training. So basically, the first day, day one, this coming up week, I'll show up to work at 9 a.m. Central Time, and then I'll get my laptop and all that kind of stuff. And then I pretty much go home after I do that. Day 2 and 3, I do the online onboarding, so I'll be working from home. And then they actually told me my shift ahead of time, and my shift is going to be the RT shift, so it's a night shift, but it's going to be Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So my first kind of reaction to getting that shift I was a little bit upset because I thought, wow, I'm in this new place, I don't know people, I'm going to be working 3 nights a week during the weekend. How am I supposed to have an active social life and meet people? But that's one of those things that I just have to kind of figure out how to handle. I have 4 days off to be able to meet people, do things with friends, and I will take advantage of that, right? That's just an obstacle that kind of comes with accepting the job and saying, I'm going to do this, whatever you give me, the first go around, I'll do it, I'll make the best of it. I'm going to work my butt off, I'm going to kill it on that rotation, and then who knows how long I'll be on it, and then I'll work my way from there. So the 4 things that I wanted to talk about were the perception that we're getting from online reviews of the job, successful interviewing for the position, salary negotiation, and then a little bit more detail on the compensation package, which will blend with the negotiation. So first things first, a couple people mentioned and approached me and asked about online reviews. I haven't started the job yet, so I can't speak for the actual experience. But what I will say is I've talked to a couple different area managers around the country, and I said, hey, look, a lot of people are saying negative things online about this area manager role. What's the deal with it? What has your experience been? And the people that I've talked to, they've all been the people that post online, they're just negative. If someone has a good experience, they're not typically thinking, I'm going to go write about my positive experience online. Usually people only feel inclined to do that when they're upset, right? So I would suggest kind of taking the approach that I did with that and just ignoring that, right? Stop looking online for people's feedback. Reach out to real life people, right? Continue to connect with me and reach out to me as I go through this process. If you find other people on LinkedIn or in your network that work for Amazon in a similar role or something, reach out to them and ask them to connect you with other people. Don't rely on reviews that you see written online on these random pages like Indeed or Job Finder or things like that. It's not going to be good for anything, right? So don't let those online reviews scare you. It's what you make of it. It's the perception that you get, and you just have to say, this is me, this is my life, this is my reality. I'm not going to let somebody else's experience dictate mine, right? So the next one is successful interviewing. So everybody has their own interview style. I would say my first video I went over what I could that was going to be in the interview and whatnot. The final stages where you're with probably an operations manager and an HR person, and how they ask you about the leadership principles. My only opinion on that is to be very authentic and real during those interviews and to not put on the suit and try to be super professional and tell these people what you think that they want to hear, because people see right through that. And if you're the kind of person that is always trying to be over the top professional, trying to just, dance around the subject rather than ask certain questions or elaborate where you should elaborate more, just be yourself. Laugh, smile, show them your personality, because Amazon is in that fortunate position where they have so many people that want these roles, so they can be picky. They can be so picky. So they're not going to hire you because they're desperate, right? They're going to hire you because you meet what Amazon wants and you're competitive. So be competitive. Be yourself. Nobody else is the same as you, right? People can pretend to be super professional and you have 1,000 people that can be that mold, but you are the only person that is yourself. So capitalize on that and leverage that. The last two things, so salary negotiation and compensation package, this is more just in general in life with these types of things, right? When it comes to getting a compensation package with Amazon specifically, they'll send you in an email 2 relocation options probably, and then they'll send you your official offer letter that will have your salary, your RSUs, your sign-on bonus if you get one, and you'll see all of that laid out, and you'll have X amount of days to get back to your recruiter and tell them yes or no. I would suggest, unless you are very happy with the offer that you get and you feel like it represents your worth, I highly suggest always trying to negotiate. And the most important thing to negotiate is not sign-on bonus. It's not necessarily RSUs, it's salary. I would say salary, RSUs, sign-on bonus. Because your salary is what is compounded over time for you to grow off of for the rest of your career, right? A sign-on bonus, that's a one-time thing. Like, let it be what it is, and don't focus on getting a couple extra $1,000 there. Because after a couple of years go by, you lose that couple of $1,000 if you give up a salary increase, right? But that salary increase compounds on itself. So you're going to earn those couple $1,000 soon if you focus on your salary increase. My advice for doing this is Amazon likes data. Every smart, intelligent company likes data, right, to back up claims. Your claim is going to be, oh, you're offering me, let's just use, this is not what I'm making or what I'm just going to say, let's just say $65,000 is what you get offered for area manager. That's a number that I made up, 100% made up, whatever. It could be way more, it could be way less, I don't know. Let's say you get an offer for $65,000 and you just came from a job where you were getting $65,000 and you're like, man, like I'm taking this big switch, but I want to make at least 70, right? My suggestion to you would to be to go back to your projects that you did in your past job. Look at how much you were able to save on projects that you did that were cost savings projects. Look at what your contributions were. Look at your network size. Tell them about how you leveraged your network to be able to get work done quickly, efficiently, and fast, right? And have successful results. And tell them, the average person isn't able to do the things that I'm able to do, which would be X, Y, and Z, right? Give them a concrete detail. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point without a lot of extra fluff. And if you're going to try to negotiate 70 versus 65, I would say, hiring manager, I really feel like my worth is at 70. I would like to discuss in whatever medium possible negotiating to go from 65 to 70 for my salary. In a brief overview, here are a few justifications for why I feel that I would be worth 70,000 as opposed to 65. And then list out those attributes of yourself that most people probably wouldn't have. And be very polite when you're doing it and be very professional in your communications when you're doing that. And you never know what could happen. And if they come back and the worst that they could say is no, your offer is still there. You still have a wonderful opportunity. Nothing bad would happen, right? They just say no. Or they could say yes, and then there you go. You just got $5,000 extra on your sign-on bonus. Not your sign-on bonus, your salary. My bad. So those were the things that I wanted to kind of go over in this video. I'm going to be if anybody has worked a night shift before, I would absolutely love any suggestions for things to do or ways to adapt your body when you're doing something where you're working 3 or 4 days on nights and then you have X amount of days off in a row on days. Are you supposed to shift your body to go back to being on days, or do you just find things to do at night? Like, this is an example of a time where I don't know. Like, I am new to this whole type of thing. So I would love for these people, on here to be able to tell me that. Just going forward, I'm going to try to keep my videos under 10 minutes. So whenever I post a video, you can just expect that it's going to be under 10 minutes. I'm getting kind of close here with this one. But yeah, my only update personally from my experience was for the next 2 weeks coming up, I did get my shift. It is, like I said, RT, the night shift, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And that's it. 3 days on, 4 days off. Holiday season's a little different. So if you have any questions about that or want to know a little bit more about my first couple of weeks of training, go ahead and ask me questions, and then I'll post a video update as I complete training. Thanks, everybody.